You just have to wait for the ducks. It's called the William Street Swap Shop. It's called the William Street Swap Shop.
Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. This is the William Street Swap Shop. My name is Matt,
I'm not Zach. I'm Alice.
but it's still a deal.
Always a deal.
Alice, you are not Zach.
No, I'm not.
Can you name 5 ways in which you two are different people to help people to clarify for the audience?
I'm a natural brunette. I'm a woman.
Okay.
My name starts with an A. And
That's
ends
3.
with an E.
Okay, is that still 3 or is that the 4th thing?
That was the 4th.
Okay.
And finally, I do not have a bolero. Bolero?
You don't have a
Bolo?
bolero.
Bolo?
Is a bolero, it's like a
Oh.
singer.
Or
You don't have a
I think that was the
Spanish singer.
short jacket that was popular in my middle school.
Okay, so do you not have a bolero nor a bolo?
Bolo, neither. So, and I think Zach owns a bolero, definitely. He was big in the 90s.
We have to, we apologize. Zach, prior to today's show, had one of his panic attacks in the parking lot, I believe.
Yeah.
There's some paramedics up there. If you guys want to call in and wish him, a speedy recovery, 413-961-4263. He's stable most of the time, and then he gets worked
Most
up
of the
about
time.
the show. And
He needed his lounging couch, which I know he has in his apartment. He just needed to lie down and relax a little. So we sent him home without pay because we're not made of money around
right,
here.
it was a prudent financial decision.
Yeah.
On Friday, we reunited Zach with his old co-host of his old UPN show, Davis and Zach and Davis.
Right. It was very
and
popular.
I think it was actually kind of opened up some wounds that hadn't been fully healed yet.
Well, I'm glad he got that time. I watched that show, the reruns at 9 a.m. while I waited for my bus every morning. So it was personal for me, too.
You were what, probably 8 or 9 back
8
then?
or 9. I was
Yeah.
pretty young. My middle school started at 9:30, which is pretty late. So I had 2 hours to kill because I woke up about 7.
Did you go to one of those sort of progressive schools where you just talk about feelings and don't really learn anything?
Purely public.
Okay.
Just public.
And it started at 9:30?
Yeah, I was late. I don't know what's going on.
Well, as we said, Zach had a panic attack. He can't be here. When he's not here, I actually get a little nervous. I try to play it cool. But if I start to have my panic attack, I just ask for the cameras to go to the stick. We're going to call this the panic attack stick. And I can just talk about it. It's one from my yard. It takes me to a comfortable place to discuss it, its shape, the
You
bark.
just lost a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Epic.
So if I'm running out of things to say, or if I get flustered in any way, I'm just going to say, if I can't talk, I'll just point to the stick. And then I invite you guys to, on chat, just talk about it.
Was this inspired by the spirit stick in one of my favorite, possibly 90s films, Bring It On? No? Okay.
That's exactly what it was
Okay.
inspired by.
Good. What year
So
was
what did you
Bring
do
It
this
On?
weekend? What's going on?
Well,
What's up in Alice's world?
I went to my cousin's wedding in Virginia, and it was pretty nice, minus the drive all the way up to Virginia. It was pretty long.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was nice. There was an open bar and a dance floor, which is all I require from a wedding.
Nice.
And I guess the union of 2 people.
So you drove up to Virginia from Atlanta, Georgia?
Correct. It was a long, long journey.
How long did it take?
It was split into 2 first a 4.5 hour trip and then a 3.5. So for those that can do math, add that up. Yeah.
It's like 15 hours, I guess.
About
total.
that, yeah. About that. And my parents were along with me for the second 3.5 hours, so that was good at some points, parental at others.
Not that epic.
Do you want to reenact conversations you had with your parents? And I'll be your
Okay.
parents.
Just both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm both of them speaking in unison.
Okay.
So, Alice,
Mom, Dad?
when are you going to stop working in this cartoon place and get a real job?
I know you're disappointed that I left my job at CNN because you got to tell all your friends that I worked for CNN, but I'm trying to follow my bliss, and my bliss has led me to adult cartoons. So,
What are we supposed to tell everyone at the wedding?
that I work for an adult cartoon network. It comes on after 8 and goes till early in the morning. And a lot of my cousins think it's a cool job.
You know, your college education wasn't cheap. It was expensive, and we know that you know the value of $1. So, when are you going to start, putting that together? And
I always think it's ironic that you bring this up because I paid for my own college, so you can pretend like you paid for it, but we all know that that was me working at Audiovisual Services at the Student Union.
I mean, yeah, you paid for it, but we had to watch you pay for it, and that was hard to see. So, I think we can still weigh in on this, right?
I guess so. You did pay for other things. I'm still on the family plan. I got a free car for 2 years. So,
The Civic.
fine. It was a silver Civic, yes.
So, yeah, your mother and I just want what's best for
Okay.
you, so
Well, thanks, Rich and Sarah. Can I call you that by our first name now?
sure. You're old
Okay.
enough.
All right. Thanks.
Back in junior high, when you needed somebody to talk to, we were always there for you. So we think you should just talk to us in the car now that we need you.
Well, I know that you're sad you're not retired yet, Dad. Do you want to talk about that?
I've got a plan together,
Okay.
and I love working at Circuit City, so I'm going to do it until as long as I can.
Business
Okay.
as usual.
Well, I mean, if that's you following your bliss, I guess. I suppose.
Okay.
Can you
Fair
get me a deal on a VCR at Circuit City?
We got a VCR DVD combo I think you'd
Okay.
really like.
Okay.
It's like $89 though, with my
That's-
discount.
That's an expensive VCR DVD combo. But I gotta play my VHSs from the library somehow. So I guess I'll fork it over.
That's a ching.
Maybe we should put this whole career talk behind us and just enjoy the beautiful Smoky Mountains,
Yeah.
Roanoke, Virginia's wonderful clouds.
We're going up to wine country, so I know how you love a rosé, Dad.
Well, hopefully we can share one together at the wedding, and I just want to say I'm really proud of the woman you've become, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry about the earlier stuff.
That's okay. Everyone has to raise their voice at some point, and I just know it means that you have feelings and you do care.
I think that was good.
Yeah, that was about how it went.
Yeah, just for 12 more
12,
hours.
12
of
more
that.
hours, and then my mom got in a little more, and she's not as calm. She kept her last name. It's Butts.
Your mom kept your last
Yeah,
name?
Butts, Butz. So, she was a feminist in the early 80s, and an artist. Really, she says it's because she's an artist.
Yeah. In the first Jurassic Park, there's a part where Samuel Jackson says, "Hold on to your butts."
But yeah, it's kind of like my mom.
So,
She held on to her butts. At the wedding I went to, the wedding hashtag was no mo butts. But I came up with a better hashtag because the guy she was marrying, his name was Longwell, and I was like, Longwell and Prosper. I'm not even into those movies. I don't know if it's Star Trek or Star Wars, but I know that would be a good wedding
I
hashtag.
think it's from Battlestar Galactica,
Oh,
actually. That's the
Okay,
other one.
that's the one.
Do you guys have a preference between Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, and Star Trek? Of course you do. 413-961-4263. Here's a new thing I want to try. I'm trying to multitask. It's hard for me to do this show every day, and also I have another job where I have to come up with these little ideas all week long for stuff on the air.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you guys could help me. It's a thing I'm calling brainstormsesh.doc. And here's what I got so far this week. And Alice, maybe you can help me. Computer, can we pull up my brainstorm doc? Okay, so it's a text edit document I've just created. It's new. And the thing, here are my topics so far. I was thinking about food. Okay. And my angle is kind of like food. Why? Where does it come from? We're just cool with putting it in our body.
Right.
Maybe you guys have some awesome angle on food I'm not thinking of. The other one is called orbs. Maybe somebody's got an angle on orbs?
What's the difference between an orb and a circle? I guess 3D? It's a 3D circle?
An orb is floating in air.
Ah,
And a
okay. So
circle.
that's what it has to be floating to be an orb.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes that sound.
Okay.
So this is called brainstormsesh.doc.
Doc.
I make these 15-second little ideas on the TV.
This would also make a good wedding hashtag.
And okay, here's another one. I'm just gonna call this wristwatch. There was a
We're both wearing one, which is rare in today's day and age.
yeah,
Epic.
and neither of them are in any way connected to our workout or some sort of
Nope.
mileage counter or something.
No.
Just analog.
I found mine
Digital.
on Instagram.
So wristwatch is about once or twice a week. I think about when I was in 4th grade. There was a kid who used to chew on the band of his wristwatch. His name was Eric, and he was in the middle of class. I think it was social studies class, and he swallowed his own wristwatch.
How about that?
I think about it 2-3 times a week. Did anything ever happen to you guys out there?
Did you?
Maybe to you, Alice, in grade school that continues to capture your imagination forever and ever?
I
Is
mean,
there a famous story from your childhood? As this will be a jumping off point for my brainstorm.
it's famous for me, I'd say. Is I remember we were probably in late elementary school, and I had a friend who still sucked her thumb. And I was with her and her parents in the car, and she started sucking her thumb. And she was older than me, so I wanted to be cool. So I was like, well, I guess I'm sucking my thumb, and I put it in my mouth. But if everyone wanted to do that right now and taste it, it doesn't taste good. And so I mainly spit it out, and her parents laughed and said, see, that's why most people stop sucking their thumbs by now. So,
What is it? Do you remember it tasting like?
yeah, it's just not lunch.
What kind of? Do you remember what kind of car you were in?
I don't. That was long ago, before I even knew much about cars. And I still don't know. I know Hondas. I got a Honda Civic, a Honda Fit, Toyota Corolla. That's about it.
Shred the gnar.
Should we cut to the stick for a second?
Are you panicking?
No, I just was interested in it.
Okay.
Maybe you guys have a childhood memory. Maybe it's something with a kernel of something inspiring in it. Give us a call, 413-961-4263.
Call from
All the rules are off. It's a whole new day in the swap shop today. Welcome into the swap shop.
Hello.
Hi there, Matt.
Hello.
Hey there, Alice.
Hey, Matt.
Hi.
So Battlestar Galactica is definitely better than the other two.
Okay.
Do you have a reason why?
Definitely.
3 reasons.
3 reasons. Well, the first being that there's no main protagonist. Everybody's a good guy. Everybody's a bad guy. So it's really fun.
Does that create
Secondly,
problems? Okay. Keep going.
no, go on. What does it create problems with?
Does it create problems with the traditional sort of, faux villain hero structure? You find it liberating that there are no good guys or no bad guys?
It's definitely very liberating. It's a bit like Game of Thrones, you know. Everybody, you're rooting for everybody, and then everybody turns on you, and then everybody dies. It's great. That's great.
Can you do your best impersonation of a Battlestar Galactica, like famous line that none of us are going to really know here? And then we'll pretend that was really good.
Okay. You want really?
Yeah,
I'm not a Stylon.
nice. That was just
Yeah.
like in the show.
I love the
It's
Stylons
just like,
for their fashion sense.
Are they the ones with the Roman
well, the Stylons,
kit light on the front of them?
that's them. The Cylons are great for the same reason that Terminator's great.
And I believe, is Battlestar Galactica on Netflix or something? I believe I see somewhere I could probably watch it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
No idea.
Oh.
But it's a long watch. It's very political. A lot of people sat around tables arguing about space politics.
And Alk, can I ask you how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain.
You're living in
Very relaxed.
you're living in like Singapore now or something?
Thailand.
Thailand.
I've been to Thailand. I went to the islands and Bangkok and Chiang Mai.
Oh, yeah?
Chiang Mai. Yeah.
Cool.
Switzerland.
I visited one island so far. Very beautiful.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
I rode by on my ride into work today. I rode by a Thai restaurant. It was called Thai 5. And I thought, why do Thai restaurants always... There's like this pattern now where they all have to be puns.
Business as usual.
What's the pun for Thai 5?
They have a lot of puns
High five.
high
in the
five.
shops over here as well.
There's another one that's called like Thai One On.
That
It's like way too long. It's
You
like
s-
Thai One On with your friends.
you see lots of wok Chinese pun restaurants, wok and roll.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if
Wow.
I opened
That's
a
funny.
Thai restaurant, I would
No
resist the
puns.
urge to do a pun.
I would just name it my favorite
You
Thai
could call it-
restaurant.
You could call it Bolo Thai.
Ah.
Most
That's good. That's what we should now. Now I'm gonna go back on my thing and say,
Name it.
if I do open one, we'll call it Bolo Thai.
Okay. Or Bolero Thai.
Good
will
pun
be
goes
my
a long way.
spin-off.
So let me ask you this: is there any childhood memory you have where something really strange happened that you think about a lot? Preferably not too dark.
Only my entire childhood.
How did you learn how to swim, or do you not know how to?
I do know how to. I believe we're born knowing how to swim, and then I must have forgotten by not swimming. We learned how to swim in a swimming pool in Santa Ponsa in Mallorca with my grandparents and my brother. Yeah.
And was it a throw you in kind of thing, or was it a hold you and pull you gently?
The swimming pool was kind of divided into a small pool and a big pool, but they were both joined together by these like bollards, so I could sort of swim between one and the other, and I slowly went from the small pool where I could touch the bottom, swimming out further and further.
Cannonball.
Cannonball indeed. But I soon got in the ocean, and me and my brother used to swim out as far as we could away from the island and look back and just see little specks and dare each other to swim further and further into the ocean. That was always fun.
And if I played a little music for you to sing over, do you think you could sing a little song about learning to swim for the first time? Can we go back to the... I'll give you just a little bit of ride into it here. Just do a spoken word over it, the elk.
Okay. When I learned to swim, it was wetter than I expected. When I learned to swim, there weren't any fish to teach me the way.
And would you like to address your grandfather and thank him for teaching you?
Grandfather, thank you for sitting by the pool as I taught myself to swim, watching the other kids in the pool. You did a great job of sitting there drinking wine. I missed you greatly and your wine. May you be in a better place than I don't believe it.
That was powerful.
That was very nice.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. So what's going on with Zach?
He was in the, he was having a panic attack in the parking lot. And long story short, you know, some authorities were called. Somebody who doesn't work here didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
And
Alice, are you responsible for that panic attack?
Definitely was not me. As you've seen on the show, I always remain calm. They treated him a little forcefully, the security guard.
yeah.
They thought he was a perpetrator of sorts.
Yeah, did you put them up to that, Alice? Be honest now.
I'm a fan
honest
of
now,
Zach.
come on.
I am a fan of Zach's. I've had to be a little rough with him on this show because he's not coming through. When you tell me you're going to sell candles,
We should clear the air on
I
that
want
because a
you to
lot of
sell
people think
candles.
that you're not being nice to Zach.
Please do clear the air because a lot of people think, yeah, you're not a very nice guy, Alice.
well, I'm like a little upset that that's how I'm seen on this show. But I just, I'm a businesswoman and I have numbers to meet, and Zach gets in the way of those numbers often.
Yeah.
So I just have to come on this show, and I mean, I guess from now on, maybe I'll try to, on the show at least for the audience, be a little nicer to Zach. But behind the scenes, it's not going to stop.
Maybe this is our chance to humanize Alice a little
Yeah.
more, and maybe you can tell us about, your softer side. People only know you as sort of this authority
Right.
figure.
Business.
Do you have any pets?
I have a dog named Clyde.
Okay.
So he's a beagle. I used to dog sit for him, and then his owner moved to London, and I adopted him full time. So he's a very special beagle. He doesn't really act like other dogs. If he has his own blog called ClydeToday.blogspot.com. It's very old. I haven't updated it, but you can see lots of old pictures of Clyde.
And do you ever have to reprimand him for bad behavior?
Well, so on top of Clyde, I also have been stuck with 6 porch cats that came with the house I live in, and my landlord knocked $100 off the rent if I continue to feed these 6 porch cats.
Okay.
So Clyde has gained some weight I think it's from eating all the cat poop around.
Yeah.
So, I have him on a diet, but unfortunately I can't control the cat poop
So
consumption.
you're kind of like a cat lady asterisk.
Right.
Because you have 6 cats,
Cats, I
but
do.
it wasn't something you sort of...
No, I just
like,
wanted to save that
jumped
$100 a month is what I was looking for.
And they leave the porch, or are they
Yeah.
sort of stuck there?
No, they're welcome to leave. They do. They go off, but about in the morning and the evening, I put some cat food out for them, and they eat it. My landlord left just names and descriptions of all 6 porch cats.
Okay.
And then Fat Albert is the most loving, but he tries to get in the house. There's Mama Callie, who is the mom of many of them, and she's rough. I don't know how much longer she's going to be around.
Maybe we can put a saddle on
How do you get the cat smell out of your clothes at the end of the day?
I don't really ever touch them that much. Fat Albert, I might give a little scratch to, but they don't go in the house. They
They stay out in
They
the
just stay outside. So it's like kind of just having cats around when you walk up to your house. And that's about
Don't you
it.
think dog smell is worse than cat smell, Matt?
I don't know. I think cat pee is the worst smell of all the smells. but they don't go in the house.
Okay.
So
What's your guys' least favorite smell? Give us a call, 413-961-4263. This morning I was riding in, and it's garbage day, and I ride a bike, and there's like a hot garbage runoff smell in the summer. That's one of my least favorites.
yeah, I put a dead squirrel just in my trash can once, and it stuck to the bottom, and so it was in there for a while. So I hosed it out. So that was
Just
one
let
of
it-
my. Yeah, there's Clyde. This is this is a few years ago. For his owner, I used to dress him.
Wait, but
up.
it says the date says September 20th, 2016. That's like right now.
No, it says 2013.
Oh,
She
okay.
seems to be pretty
Yeah.
affectionate towards you.
So yeah, that's Clyde. He's
So at the school that I'm working at, we have a movie room, which is a little room with a TV in it and a speaker system for the kids to sit in and watch programs. The smell in there is pretty terrifying at the moment. It is pretty wrong.
You're gonna
So
want
you-
some of this.
So you don't like the smell of children, you're saying?
I don't like the smell of children in that room. I put a sign on the door today saying no food, no drink, and a big red circle with a cross to it saying no, because the room stinks so bad. I cannot explain. I don't know what they're doing in there, but it smells bad.
Knock it off, you two.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you for your call, Alk. We're going to jump into some items. We haven't done any of that yet today.
let's swap it.
That's cool. It'll be good to see some. Take it easy, guys.
You too. Have good luck with the kids. It's the swap shop. You know, what we do on this show is we take people's gently used items and help them find a connection.
A good home for a new item.
Are you ready to jump into that?
I'm ready.
You've been
Let's-
trained.
Let's jump. We can swim
We did
now.
the orientation process earlier.
Yeah.
I believe the cat doll's a hot item, but we've already spoken about that, as with the dog ball shooter. As with the swapped journal, let's go a little bit further. Here's a new one. A slightly used bumper.
That's gonna
from
be
Shoe Fresh.
expensive to mail.
You said you're not a car person.
I'm not. I don't know much about cars.
That looks like a Mitsubishi Lancer. What would you say if you got into behind the wheel of that baby, rolled down the window, and there's some old high school friends playing frisbee, and now they can see you in this nice automobile? What do you say to them, Alice?
I say, go back. I'm about to throw the frisbee.
Go
And
long.
Go long.
So you have a
That's
frisbee in the
town.
car?
Well, didn't you just say that there were, my frisbee friends are outside the car?
They were friends from high school you haven't seen in a long
Oh,
time,
okay.
and now they're seeing you pulling up in a 2009
Gotcha.
Mitsubishi Lancer with a bumper missing.
Yeah, then I definitely am gonna have a frisbee in the car.
Want to play some Nerf?
So, I'll throw the frisbee out and say, for old times, pals.
And then they say, nice wheels. What happened to the bumper?
I say a little fender bender. Don't worry about it.
And they say, good old Alice, still wrecking cars.
Classic. But I'll say I got this sweet fill in the blank for my fender because I swapped it.
Right.
I don't know
What
what
would
it
you
is
swap for that bumper, do you think?
yet. A gently used porch chair, a gently used porch cat. Lots of swapping options.
You'd trade one of the cats for the bumper, you think?
Possibly. I'm trying to. I mean, I feel a little bad swapping the cat because he's gotten used to our porch, but also I try not to have too many feelings for the porch cats because they're pretty gross.
My car was totaled recently. And, computer, can you zoom in just a little tighter on the wrecked bumper here? This is a true story. I'd only had it for about 2 years, and I walked up to it, and it was in the wrecker. I knew I wasn't getting it back. And I leaned right up to the wrecked area, which was also in the rear end by the bumper, and I said, a little tighter, computer, please. A little higher, sort of by the metal there. I said, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And if I could have done something to keep this from happening, I would have. We didn't get to hang out together long enough. But I know that you'll go on to give parts to other cars that need them. And I really am proud of the job you did for us and our family. And then the guy at the wrecking yard was like, "What are you doing over there?" And I was like, "Nothing." And then I got out of there. And then I went, "Thank you."
I cried when my dad got rid of his Honda Civic that he brought my sister home in the hospital from and then 18 years later we got rid of it.
Yeah.
And I cried a little. But I cry easily.
When's the last time you cried?
Yesterday when I said goodbye to my parents at the airport.
Oh, see? It wasn't
It's gonna
annoying.
be a while.
They were annoying you on the road, and
It
then
just-
once you were saying goodbye, it was like,
It's always hard. Something about the airport too. Just
yeah.
makes sorrow so much sadder.
And then what did it look like later when you had a sad airport dinner alone after saying goodbye?
Well, I dropped them off. Then I had a sad drive home along I-85 for 4.5 hours.
So you never ate?
And then I ate with a friend when I got home.
No.
We were looking for barbecue, and who knew Labor Day is apparently a very popular barbecue day.
Is that right?
The first place we went to had no pork or chicken left, or macaroni and cheese, so we left immediately. And then the second place was completely sold out, and we ended up getting sushi, who didn't have their $1 Monday sushi deal because of Labor Day.
Got to read the fine print
Yeah.
on the menu.
Apparently Labor Day is off limits for $1 sushi.
Would you mind just doing a few seconds of thinking back to when you said goodbye to your parents? When you were in the car there?
I don't know if you're gonna get tears. I can't just, I can only cry when I really feel it.
Just think about it, if it's not too personal.
There's nothing. I have to, really, they have to be right here saying goodbye. And I probably won't see them till Thanksgiving. I know I should have got my eyebrows threaded before today.
Would it be okay with you, and you can say no, if we just keep the cameras on your eyes for the rest of the show until you start crying?
That's the number one way to make sure I don't cry for the end of the show. I just can't recreate these tears. We have to have a sad puppy in front of me, a dying grandparent, or parental goodbye, and then just take me to a cemetery right now.
Well, that's okay.
Nope.
I think we can
Sorry.
go back to the items. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That's
that
fine.
was cruel.
No, it's fine. I can't.
But I was
recreate
thinking
this.
that would be like a fascinating spin-off show if we could have a show called "Let's Wait Till Alice Cries."
It might be a while unless you. Oh, okay. It's a sad puppy.
Sad pixelated but cat.
Here, let me think about my own dog dying. Would it be that whole? I can't do it. I wasn't made to be an actress. I was just made to be me.
But will you come back at a later date for
When I
"Let's Wait Till Alice Starts
cries.
Crying"?
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see if
It
that
might be
takes
a long
off.
show.
We got to figure out things in case the swap shop
Right.
stops working. We have follow-up concepts.
Okay. Well, yeah. Put that one down. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll take a crying class, or at least come in with some eye drops next time and fake it.
Yeah.
Because
The thing that made me cry about that puppy was its low resolution. Can we get in tight? Whenever I see low resolution pictures of puppies, it makes me sad that it's not a better image.
Well, that's pretty
Such
good.
a low resolution. Sorry. Can we go to the stick, please, for a second?
I would bet that dog wishes he had that stick.
Should we look at the next item up for swap?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you don't want to trade for the bumper, there's many other possibilities. There's Pogs, for example. How many Pogs do you own at this point?
I'm actually hate to say it, but I'm at 0. I don't think I really ever owned Pogs. I think I had a friend who had a few, and we flipped them a few times. I like how they include the quarter for size.
That's something we ask.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to make that happen. Chris is a pro. He knows to put it in there.
Whoa.
Somebody call and tell me how Pogs worked. I was too old, I think.
I was...
You flip them and then somebody gets one,
Yeah,
or like.
possibly. As I said, I didn't have much Pog experience.
And if they all are on one side, then you get a pillow pressed on your face while you sleep or something. I don't know. I was reading. Maybe it's a different thing I was reading about. You have like there's like a hotel room, and then everybody puts money in a bag, and then you flip the Pogs, and then everybody like does a bunch of meth. Am I thinking of the right game?
Not that epic.
Tell me how Pogs work. Somebody.
I can't help. Maybe in the
Keep
chat,
flipping.
0 Pogs.
0 Pogs, and that's too many Pogs. And then there's a slammer.
Yeah.
There's a
You need
slammer does something.
I think the slammer flips them or something. Okay.
I'm gonna mail a letter to the
Chris,
Pog makers
Pogs.
and say, send me a videotape. Let's all figure out how Pogs work, and then we'll air it tomorrow if we get one back.
There are probably a few YouTube videos out there.
Now I like this next
Awesome.
thing after. Okay, yeah, here we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
It's Tony.
hey Tony, how you doing?
I'm good.
Do you know how Pogs work?
Yeah, I was the Pog champion in the 90s.
The 90s, so that must have been
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
prime of Pogs, Pog primes.
Yeah,
So how
that's
do
when
they?
Pogs was relevant.
So how exactly does it work?
You gotta stack all the Pogs up, and then
Okay.
you get the metal coin, and then you flick it. That's how that used to work. And then whatever Pogs are face up, you stack it again, and then you flick it with the coin again.
Okay.
You're gonna want some of this.
And then when they're all flipped over, then what happens?
Whoever has the most flip over wins.
Okay.
That are like flipped over on the white side.
And what did you used to say as Pog champion when you slammed it and they all flipped over and you won? What was your catchphrase?
My catchphrase was like awesome and radical.
Solid.
Nice.
I feel like Awesome wasn't really popular in the 90s, so
It was more of
it
a
was more, yeah,
80s.
an 80s thing. I think
2000s.
the 90s was actually the low point, so you were very on top of the trend for the coming 2000s.
Yeah, we used to play all the time at school.
Can you reenact the way you would say radical again one more time?
Radical.
Nice. And was it there a room full of people, or was there an opponent, or was it all sort of just an imaginary thing?
Just a little bit of all of the above.
Okay. And what was the coolest Pog you ever owned? What was the one you were so excited to win?
I actually sent one to Fish Center. It was had like a shark on it. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
I don't know if they still had it, but someone has it.
Do you remember how many Pogs you owned at the prime of your Pog career?
It could be like 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
And if there's
But none.
if there's a Pog you missed the most and you wanted to say a few words to it over some gentle music right now, could we do that?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is talking to the Pog you missed the most and how you wish it would come back.
I missed you, Lucky Bog. You helped me win the championship at my school. You were the best friend I ever had. I could ever hope for. It's too bad that the 90s are over. Maybe someday Boggs will come back, and I'll have you back in 5 bucks. And keep on keeping on. I love you,
Maybe just
and I miss you.
a little apology for taking them for granted, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely took them for granted.
Don't tell me, tell the Pogs.
I'm sorry, Boggs. I took it for granted. You know, I never meant to mistreat you. You know, sometimes I just slam you really hard, and it's not me. It's you. It's not me. It's so tempting. But, you know,
Well, that was wonderful.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I almost was crying. I was really close. I was trying. But
See, we can put that. We can use that in the show.
no,
Let's wait until Alice cries.
I was almost there. Got different angles of it. But it's just not the same as seeing my parents enter Gate 3 at Greensboro, North Carolina Airport.
I'll talk about that.
If there was something you could say to them that you couldn't say at the time, you didn't have the courage to, over some gentle music, what would it be?
Mom, I'm glad that you kept your last name and you were true to who you are, even if it is Butts, and even if all my friends found that out in the 3rd grade and made fun of me and started calling me Butts Feigl. And Dad, I'm glad that you're a kind man and that you and Mom were able to make it all these years, and that we get to have rides in the car, and that you guys are willing to stop and get Cheerwine in North Carolina, because it means a lot to me.
And thanks for the Civic.
And thanks for the Civic. And thanks for the family plan, because cell phones are expensive these days, so it's nice that you guys do that. But also I get you a discount with T-Mobile, so I think we're even in my mind.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks for that. I wish I could have said it to them, but maybe in a few years I'll work up the courage to tell them how I really feel.
Tony, do you have any advice for Alice about her feelings? Just moving forward.
You know, you're is it still Alice Butt, right?
I'm a what?
Is your name still Alice Butt?
No, that's my mom's last name. I'm just a
Oh,
Feigl.
I mean-
I'm a Feigl.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Butt, right?
It could always be worse. That's true.
It could always be worse.
So
No, that's
I like-
something to look forward to.
I'm glad they almost hyphenated. They didn't hyphenate.
Yeah.
So
Butts Feigl.
yeah.
Feigl.
Butts Feigl, yeah.
Um, I like that your mom was Butts her whole life, and then there was this opportunity to not be Butts anymore, and she said, no,
That's exactly
it's
what
fine.
my
I'm
grandma
sticking
said.
with it.
She stuck with it. Well, she had a fiber arts career, so she just didn't want to change it up for the website. Actually, there was no website then.
Yeah.
There were business cards, and she didn't want to reprint. So
I get it.
yeah. So she is a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
So
She was a fiber artist?
a fiber artist, yes.
Did she make bags? Or tapestries?
Large, oversized jackets mostly.
Mhm.
She wove, she weaves.
Were you raised among looms?
There was one large loom that she finally got rid of a few years ago because she stopped weaving. Turns out she never really liked it.
Yeah.
It just was the main part of her program at Georgia State. So she felt like she had to go with it.
Yeah.
But now she's found a fiber arts group in St. Petersburg, Florida, the 3rd largest mid-art-sized city in the U.S. And they're doing some stuff with yarn together. So I'm glad she's found some people.
Some like-minded fiber artists.
Yes, and now she does have a website, so she definitely can't change her name.
Do you want to plug it, or?
No,
it's
because
okay.
I'm embarrassed by the
Yeah,
artist
right.
statement.
If you sell any of the stuff,
Say that again?
if you sell the stuff, I would buy it.
Tony, I forgot
Oh,
you
she
were
does.
here in the room with us.
I'm sorry, let me be quiet.
No,
Well,
she doesn't really sell it. It's more for herself. So.
You know, I just remembered we have a potential swap we might want to talk
yeah.
about. Let's do the first one. Thanks for your
Okay.
call, Tony, and
Oh,
we'll do
no
this.
problem.
We have let's just whatever the first one is, we'll talk about this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this was the cat doll from JXXX, and in return, we have
Lots of ramen.
I believe it's like 20 pounds of ramen noodles.
You're gonna want some of this.
So
So do we Christian this swap, or
we just put it out there,
There,
and we're
okay.
gonna let it. Sally is the swapper, and Jay is the swappee.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna see what they say. We'll see what Jay
Okay.
says before tomorrow's show.
I've been spicing up some ramen at home, where I get some of that 10-cent ramen,
Uh-huh.
and I put some frozen corn, some broccoli in it, and then I do a soft-boiled egg. You just put an egg in some boiling water for 7 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and then you put it in. It's perfect. It's almost like you're at a ramen shop. So it doesn't just have to be that. I'm just letting
that's
XXX
grand.
know.
Can we? Can you tell the camera the soft-boiled egg part again? Just that part of the
Okay.
story. And you did a nice hand gesture when
Thank
you
you.
said that part.
Well, I'm going to be a little more specific. So actually what I do is I just put some water in the pot, and I put it on the highest flame, and then I put the egg in immediately before it's boiling, and I let it go for 10 minutes. And by that time it starts to boil, it gets over, I think, was it the plop you wanted? Did you like that plop?
Yeah.
And then you get out the egg. You cool it, put it in cool water, and then you have a nice runny yolk in your ramen. So
Can you say the soft-boiled egg part and stop right in the middle of it and just freeze the gesture as it happens?
And then you just put the soft boiled like that.
Yeah.
I have a problem with eye contact, even with the camera. It's uncomfortable.
So this has probably been a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, I keep trying to avoid looking at the cameras, but
Well,
I'm
I've
trying
had
to
a
work
lot
on
of
it.
fun this hour. I hope you have.
I have. I'm glad Zach had a panic attack. I hate to say it. And that probably isn't helping my persona around here, but
Yeah.
I also want to be true to myself, just like my mom was all those years ago.
And if we invite you back on for a 1 hour, let's wait until Alice cries spin-off show, would you be game for that one day?
I'd be game. I don't. You might just want to
The
put
eye
me
contact
in a
part's
corner.
sort of a bombshell. That would make
Yeah.
that show kind of hard to
I
do.
would definitely get my eyebrows threaded before that show.
Okay.
So, I just haven't had time. I've been at a wedding.
Now, what happens with the threading versus like a waxing?
Apparently it's better for darker eyebrows because they can be more exact about what
Length.
what they pull out. But and also it lasts longer in my opinion. So it's been a journey because my eyebrow lady told me your eyebrows, they're not twins, they're sisters. They're not going to look exactly identical as much as you might want them to. So I've always liked the arch better on this eyebrow, but I love you just as much, other eyebrow, because you're there.
Epic.
Can I shake hands with your eyebrows as a way to end the show?
Okay.
Thank you for coming
Oh.
and sharing your eyebrows with us and your thoughts. And now maybe we should do a hand shake.
Okay. Yeah. Probably was weird.
Thank you guys for having us in your hearts and homes. We'll be back tomorrow. Zach, if he's feeling better, we'll be back with Wonderful Wednesday, and the show will be back to, Zach and Mac status. Mac will be here, not me, but on Thursday. And until then, it's a deal.
It's a deal.